Boy, it's been a busy few days for President Obama in his final weeks in office. The White House has taken some major actions, and of course, not everyone is thrilled. Andy Card, a White House chief of staff under President George W. Bush, had this to say. Quote, I tend to believe that outgoing presidents should be as respectful of the burden of the incoming president as they can be, and not try to saddle the incoming president with obligations that weren't readily anticipated. And so I do feel there's a little blindsiding going on. Joining us now is Wisconsin Congressman Sean Duffy, a longtime Trump supporter. Good to see you, Congressman. We appreciate you coming in. What do you think about Barack Obama blindsiding Donald Trump on the way out the door?
Well, I think he is blindsiding Donald Trump. I mean, here you had this love affair going on when they first met after the election, and now that bromance is on Skid Row because you have Barack Obama, who's in essence going to the UN with the Israeli resolution. We have Arctic drilling. Now we have sanctions on Russia. We've had Obama come out and say that he would have won the election against Donald Trump. Mrs. Obama saying that now we're going to know what no hope feels like. So I think this has been a personal affront to Trump, and I think these two men are growing further apart. They have different views of the world. And if any of us think that Barack Obama on January 20th is going to ride off into the sunset like George Bush, it's not going to happen. He's not going to go away, and I think Donald Trump's going to have to deal with Mr. Obama for years to come, which I think is going to be a new era of how ex-presidents deal with current presidents.
Interesting point there, because Donald Trump's also going to have to deal with a lot of important players on the world stage like Vladimir Putin as well. And so we've been talking about it this hour. This tweet earlier today where Donald Trump said, quote, great move on delay by Vladimir Putin. I always knew he was very smart, saying that he's going to delay responding to President Obama directly, a tit for tat on U.S. sanctions, and wait, maybe critics say, until he has a better hand and deals with Donald Trump, who's out there praising Vladimir Putin on social media.
Yeah, Ed, I got to tell you what, during the campaign, Twitter works really well, and Donald Trump was a master at driving his message through Twitter. But when you're dealing with foreign governments, it becomes far more challenging. What does Donald Trump really mean by the tweet? And it's hard for us, it's a head-scratcher to go, what message is he trying to drive? What I'm taking away from this is Donald Trump is going to be unpredictable. In one breath, this week he's saying, great, smart move, Vlad. But last week, as Vladimir Putin was talking about modernizing his nuclear weapons, Donald Trump was like, and so are we. And if you want to get into a nuclear arms race, have at it. You did it 20 years ago, 30 years ago. You were destroyed. Try it again. So Trump is unpredictable, and I think that's going to be a new change-up in the way he deals with foreign leaders and also with the U.S. Congress.
Sure.
We just don't know where this guy's going to go.
Congressman, I have to press you because, yes, I get the positive side of that, and Donald Trump has made that case, that being unpredictable, then other world leaders, they don't know what you're going to do, and maybe they're a little scared of the U.S., more scared than they've been over the last 8 years, perhaps. On the other hand, some of your own fellow Republicans, Adam Kinzinger, one of them, was on Fox earlier today saying he's a little concerned about all this. Watch.
It's okay to say we want to re-engage the Russians and have talks. That's great. But it's another thing entirely to say, hey, they're really our friends, they're really the great protector. That's not the case at all. And I hope some of his words change. But I think he's going to be a fantastic president on a lot of fronts.
So it's important to be fair there. He's saying he'll be a fantastic president, but he's expressing concern that maybe he's being too nice to this Russian president.
So I think it's important to put this into context. I don't think Vladimir Putin is a good guy. I think he's a thug. I don't think Russia is an ally or a friend of the United States of America. They might help us as we both deal with radical Islamic terrorism, but we don't see eye to eye on a lot of issues. But I think Mr. Trump is trying to navigate a fresh and new relationship with Putin. But if anyone around the world or in the United States thinks that they'll walk over Donald Trump, you just have to look at his business record. No one gets the better hand on Donald Trump in business, and no one got the upper hand on him in this presidential election. He's a savvy operator, and he'll play his cards effectively and usually comes out the winner. So I have all the faith that Donald Trump knows what he's going to do. He's not going to get pushed around like Barack Obama did from Vladimir Putin or other foreign leaders. He is going to be a tough, strong American leader, using American force and strength for good in the world, as opposed to this idea that Barack Obama had where he's going to travel the world over and apologize for American power. I think that transition of Obama weakness to Trump's strength I think is going to be seen on day one, and it's going to be a positive for the kind of respect that the rest of the world has towards America. Look back, Ed, on playgrounds in America, strength is respected, weakness isn't. Obama's been weak. Donald Trump is going to be strong, and that will demand respect from Putin and China and ISIS and everyone else, I think.
Yeah, no doubt this is a much bigger playground, and the world is watching. Congressman Sean Duffy, we appreciate you coming in, and Happy New Year.